Good morning from Rhode Island. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. And I truly, truly hope that your weather is better than ours. All right, we are Beyond Eons Productions. I am your host, Nikki Johnston, and this is Wednesday Whispers, episode 6. All right, let me bring the guys on and we'll get started. I hope you guys are doing well. All right. Got both invitations here. We'll see if they can come on soon. Oh, we got one.
Good
morning. All right. Hey. All right, let's see. Mr. Dante. What are we going to get this morning? What view are we going to get?
Don't know.
All right, I got to turn you up a little bit.
My low or?
No, I just turned up my volume. Now I can hear you.
Okay.
All right, Dante, come on.
Waiting.
By the way, his phone has not come in yet. Wait, what's today?
Today is the 20.
It's coming tomorrow.
We're gonna get.
I'm actually going to be. What'd you say?
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
We'll have less to laugh about, though. I'm kind of sad about that part.
I have less to laugh about. I doubt it. Seriously doubt it. Especially next week.
Yes. Oh. Hey, Larry.
Yeah.
There he is. Okay. Not naked. Not naked.
Am I naked?
Told you. I told you. I knew it.
What?
See, if you start with me, he's going to want to be naked all the time.
You remember the whole? Let's talk about the. You remember the whole lyrical done thing and at Brown, right? What year was that?
What year was that?
Yeah.
Shoot. It had to be like 2006, 2007.
All right. Because in the midst of still unpacking and whatnot, I came across a CD that I didn't put into my computer. I just put it in, start playing it. All those beats from back then, I just found that CD, and I'm like, you got to hear them. Like to hear them again, like from the first time, because that whole conversation, like when you was like, I can't just jump on a beat I ain't never heard before. Like, what is this? I don't know who made this, and I'm just sitting there like, I made it.
Yeah, but hold up. You know what it is though? You gotta remember the styles of beats at the time.
Yeah, I was not.
You know what I mean? The style.
Protocol. I never followed protocol. I was making stuff that did not fit the industry standard as far as like music was back then.
Bring it back. I want to hear it.
Oh, these beats. I was sitting there like, oh, these are all
Hey,
fire.
Nikki, how come I can't see you?
Huh?
Yeah.
How come I can't see you like I normally do?
I don't know.
Well, who cares? It's like dark. I don't care. After this time, my phone comes in tomorrow. I got everything else but my phone.
Thank the Lord. The universe, all of it. All right, so we had a phenomenal episode, video interview come out this past weekend, Through the Looking Glass Part 1, with Yakim's very good friend, Nada Samih-Rotondo. And I really enjoyed.
There you go.
Nada Samih-Rotondo.
What?
Say it. Let me hear it.
Hold on, I'm not even trying.
Listen, I am terrible at foreign languages, and I can say it.
But no, me. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. No, me. I was saying that there's a lot of stuff I didn't put into it that I think I'm saving for this episode as far as footage and stuff like that. But like I was saying before, me and Netta go way back. Like I remember when her oldest was still running around in diapers and stuff. So it's like to see the transition of where she was to where she's at now, and knowing her journey, it was so dope to sit down with her and just like catch up.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to learn more about her because I feel like I felt like it was a teaser almost because I felt like there was so much more. There's so much more to her, and you can tell just by the what was spoken about in the video. But I think I'm excited for the more, and I was sad, but now that you just said that, how you're trying to handle part two and the more stuff that you're putting in, that's getting me excited for the next one. Because I felt like I'm like, wait, there's so much more to her because I got onto her Instagram page and wanted to learn more about her. So I was proactive in that and learning more of her history. And so I actually think that that was a good play on your part. So it allowed me to investigate a little bit. And hopefully we'll have her on next week to talk about both parts and dig into a little bit deeper into other things. So I already have questions for her. I'm super excited to talk about, and not, yeah, they're not going to be conventional questions. They're not going to be, diving into anything super crazy, but just to kind of go along with everything that she's already been saying so far. So I'm super excited to meet her. But I do want to ask, where did the title come from? Through the Looking Glass. What inspired that?
Honestly, a lot of my titles and sometimes come last minute. Like they're inspired by mainly the people that we're going to sit down with. Like I didn't have a title for your episode until maybe a day or two before we actually sat down.
Yeah.
And it just popped into my head, you know. So I I like the spontaneousness of some of my titles and where they come from, but I believe it comes to me in a way because it has a personal touch. Like it resonates with me. So it's like the title comes to me. I don't go looking for the title. So I'm not sure if that answers your question, but that's how the title came to me because of who she is to me in my life, and what she's doing now, and how beautiful her story is. And I like the phrase through the looking glass because when you look through a looking glass, you get to see the bigger picture. You get to see a better view of what you're trying to understand.
Right. I like that because it has a parallel to her title, which is All Water Has Perfect Memory. And you can interpret that any way you want, of course. But, when you hear the backstory of her in the title and then you with your title, you can see that connection that the two of you have, and kind of that universal, mystical, spiritual side, and then that very real, hardcore story that's behind it all. So I really like that, and I'm curious to learn again more about her children, and you guys only touched the surface in that interview. I'm like, wait, what? There's so much more. I need more. But so I think having her on next week after both episodes come out will really like I'll hone in on everything I want to ask her and really get down to the nitty gritty of all the stuff.
You might add more questions to that list that you got going right now after this second episode. So
Awesome. So yeah, so part 2 will come out next weekend. So we have that to look forward to. What else is in the ranks? You said, we have the mental health one, right?
yes,
Okay.
mental health will be next weekend. That series will be, I don't want to say how many parts there's going to be to it because we could always revisit a series that was started.
Oh, Keem, hold up. There's a late
Uh-oh.
entry, so there's a late entry because talking to somebody, one of Nikki friends, she made a post, and when I read the post, I kind of like what she was talking about. I'm trying to connect with her, so she might be a late addition to this mental health because she actually came out of it. Huh?
Who?
One of your friends, somebody that posted something. Matter of fact, she's in your story.
Oh, Amanda,
Yeah.
the one I put up today?
Yep. I was just talking to her before you
Yes.
went by.
Oh, she would be awesome to have on. I mean, we are actually really good friends. I've been working with her at least 5 years now, and her husband even longer, and her husband's brother. So I know them very well, went to their wedding, and we have some similar stories, like health journeys along the way. We've hit some roadblocks that are very similar, but she's been through a lot. And she's also an amazing nurse. She's in the emergency room, and yeah, she really would have a story to tell. I'd love to have her on.
Right. Nah, because that's what I was just talking to her. And the thing about it is what we're about to tap into is going to be real serious, and it has to be done right. Me and Kim
Mhm.
was already talking about that. So the thing is, because when it comes to mental health, like people got to understand there's so many different aspects of mental health, because what we in a community, in certain communities, we refer to mental health as is different what other people refer to mental health as. Some people believe that people playing loud music is mental health. You know
Yeah.
that, right?
Oh yeah.
So we're going to address every aspect, because if we're going to do this conversation right, it's going to be done right. And it ain't going to be biased. See, that's the one thing about what we got going on right now is nobody's saying we're biased. And people are enjoying what it is that we're doing, because it's open and dialogues that making people think and aspect. Because like I said, there may not be people talking in the comment section or anything, but they're talking directly to me, and they're telling me that, yo, you're giving me a different way to see something and changing the way I'm thinking about certain things.
Yes. Yes. I mean, hear it loud and clear, different people's perspectives, and that's the point. Like we're bringing in. You can't always see outside of your situation, so that when you have someone that's going through something similar and they take a different approach, you're like, oh wow, it really opens up someone's eyes to understanding what they're going through more to help them get through it. And even not even that, just the community and the support of it, just really, it goes a long way. So having these deeper heartfelt conversations are going to be key. I mean, we need to go through all of it. I mean, and deep dive and really explore all the different facets of it. Like, at some point we'll talk about divorce. For me, that's a very long story, and I have two very different stories regarding divorce. And I think that would be interesting to explore too. But yeah, like yeah, again with Nada, it's about hearing her story and how she can bring that familiarity to this area. Because think about it, Rhode Island, the oldest state, how many immigrants do we have from everywhere? I mean, especially from Portugal and Italy, and like everyone's coming through here to shift through the rest of the East Coast. So to
But
hear
that,
that transition
but
too.
that's why I said I'm not going to put a limit on the series itself, because, or any other series, because we may go down this path with the mental health. We are going down this path with the mental health, and it will be broad. There will be variations. There will be segments. There will be breaks in between, and we'll bring it back. Like we might go back to another barbershop. We like I already know that in, I want to say, mid-May, we're revisiting an episode, and to give people kind of an update, I've already locked it in. We're going to be going back to a location and sitting down with somebody and introducing you to their story and journey and where they are now. And
Right.
that's why it works out so well that we can control how we put out the information and how we put out the message. And open ended, that way we can expand on it, because we never know what's going to happen tomorrow from how people react today. We might get a nerve on an episode that opens the floodgates to conversations and people want to talk about it. And like, we can have those conversations. And
Yakim,
that
hold on one sec. Sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt you. We're getting a lot of static. I wonder if we should stop and restart, because it's going to be very hard for people to
That ain't me.
listen.
where's the mic at?
What'd you say?
Where's your mic?
He
It
can't
ain't
connect to
me,
his
buddy.
phone.
It ain't me. That's y'all two.
Everyone's texting while she was touching stuff and moving.
Okay, so all right, we can do one or two things because I think because I've started it, I can't come off. But why don't both of you try to go off? Like Dante, you go first, go off and come back on.
Go off and come back on. Okay, how the
Yeah.
heck you go?
With the X,
Okay, yeah, I'll try something. Okay.
Else,
the X.
that one right there.
Right
Hey, look. What?
So he froze.
Wait.
It froze with him
No.
leaving. That's his screensaver now. Everybody get a screenshot. Everybody get a screenshot. Make this your picture for Dante when you call him.
Oh my God. Actually, you know what? Yakim, you're going out too.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Mine's just
Yeah,
making noise.
you go out and come back in also.
All right.
Now I'm by myself. All right, let's see here. That's the one. Okay.
See,
All right.
I can see you.
There we go. Okay. So Ori just popped out real quick. He said to lower your speaker volume a little bit. I'm going to do that to mine. All right. Let's get
Ori's the
Jakeem back in
producer.
here. So Ori just popped his head out and he said to lower the speaker volume. See if that helps.
All right. Is this better?
Well, on your phone, like mine was turned all the way up so I could hear you guys, but I just lowered it.
Oh no,
But so far it's better.
I lowered mine.
All right. Cool. Okay. I'm so sorry. Like it was so distracting. I couldn't hear much of what you said. So if you could kind of backtrack a few sentences and then we'll pick up from there. Yes.
You basically said we're going back. We're
Oh, bring
going
someone back. Yes.
do a continuation of an episode we already
So
did.
yeah,
Say I'm listening.
mid-May, towards the end of May, we're revisiting an episode, and we're going to introduce someone new to the scene and get their story, and a bit of an update at the same time, and it's going to be good. I already locked it in with the person like yesterday.
Okay. All right. Dante, can I put you on the spot?
No.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. So let me know if you want to discuss this or not. But you recently took a few days off of work.
Yup.
To do some other things, right? Do you want to speak on
Mm-hmm.
that at all as to why you took time
Hey,
off and like how
me.
you were feeling
I'm
during that
real.
time?
Nah, like the thing about it is, it's like, yo, that's why I said mental health is like, yo, matter of fact, that sparked the episode, right? I gave somebody an analogy of a person's life, right? And I said, where you think that person is
Mhm.
right now? And when they said the answer, I said, no, you're talking to that person right now. And they say, oh man, I feel so stupid. Because again, you don't know what a person went through to become who they are, is the point that I
Mhm.
was making. So sometimes, like I was telling Keem, and I thank y'all for being very supportive. I was telling Keem, it's like, you don't know how it feels to be me when you're doing the right thing and people coming at your character, the sacrifices that you made in your life. And it's like people attacking you. Like the thing with me is like, as a 46-year-old man about to be 47, right? I don't have kids. And matter of fact, that's going to be in the episode coming up. We talked about that next week, this week coming up. I don't have kids. I made the sacrifice because I didn't want my kids to go through what I went through or what other people's kids went through. That's one. Number two, I be telling my job all the time, like, yo, I pay my bills in advance. Like my light bill, my cell phone bill. My cell phone bill's paid for 2 years. My rent used to be paid for the year. The things that I have, I own, is mine. I was like, If my life is in order, why do you think I'm going to come to work and cause problems? And so when these got people attacking your character, especially that whoever that person is on YouTube coming at your character, like, yo, I'm like, it's not that they're breaking me down. It's just the fact of, okay, God, what is you teaching me in this situation that I might not know? And that's what's bothering me, because it's like people don't understand my faith, where it's like there's nobody on this planet that can say I did them wrong. And even when it comes to dealing with females, the fact of the matter, what the females did and put me through, just like I got kicked out of a home. A girl kicked me out of a home because I wouldn't be with her. A home I'm paying rent. And that's crazy to me. And it's like, yo, people don't know what I go through, and I still keep this smile on my face. I still live my life and do what I gotta do. So it's like I have no one to talk to about this. I have to call out of state to talk about this stuff. So when people sitting up there talk about, oh, this guy, he's conceited and all that, I'm like, yo, if y'all really wanted me to react the way I want to react, you gonna wish I was conceited after I get through with you. But no. So sometimes you gotta put on your game face and be like, man, it's life. But sometimes you can get frustrated as well. But the thing about it with me, and the best thing I tell people to do, talk about it. Get it out of your chest, because if you don't, it's like taking a Coke bottle, shaking it up. It's going to come out one way or the other. And like I told my job, when they was like, you need documentation. No, I don't. You don't know how to handle me spiritually. So if I'm going to take days off, I'm taking days off, because I'm going to handle myself. I know how to handle myself. I know how to pray. I know how to get myself back on track. So when people want to know my qualifications and credentials to talk about these conversations, if you knew what I went through and to see what I overcome and the results of my life, you would all be applauding. Like, damn, I didn't know he went through all that. Exactly. My mom didn't even know what I went through. She put me on this earth. So again, I don't hide from nothing. I don't run from nothing.
So actually, you have a good point. What's interesting is that we don't take experience for what it is anymore, because we are in a society of, oh, you have to get your bachelor's, you have to get your master's, you have to become XYZ, you have to have your license in this and that. I'm sorry. So you're 21 and you just graduated with a master's, and you're going to tell me how to live because you read a book?
Yeah,
And no, and I don't devalue that experience. I don't devalue that person. But at the same time, we're devaluing people's experience and being able to overcome certain things. That should hold a lot more credibility. But how do you put that into words? And so I say, for people who are in that position, say, Dante, for you, hello, also Kobe, is like having some sort of portfolio, right? Like who you're helping, or you already have your book. So you have things behind you that already establish who you are. Like, for example, for me, like helping people over the years, who did I help? Do I have pictures of them? Do I have testimonials of them? You know, it's really hard in this dog eat dog world where, you know, people are, you know, babies coming out of college and get hired left and right. And then we have these grown folks who have held this experience and knowledge and can really truly help people, and they're getting pushed to the wayside. So, you know, I really like what you said about that. We don't know what each of us has gone through, but we know by the words that you project, right? So we know that what you're saying to help others is a testament of what you've already been through, because you're really not speaking above and beyond anything that you've been through, because that's how we help people.
Well, I worked in the field. Hold up, King, for a second.
Yeah.
I worked in the field since 1999.
No one hear me?
Yeah. I'm looking at Oso's messages.
The crazy thing is we
hear you, King.
A resume based on experience, which is sad. Like, we can tell you our life, we can tell you what qualifies us, and it's to Nikki's point about having a degree, like, and then picking somebody over experience due to a degree that says they know it by the book. It's like, but there are things in a book of life that you can't put on a resume, you can't put in a diploma, you can't earn this credential. Like, you've lived the credential, you are the credential, and like, you can't place that anywhere on a resume or an application. And how would you qualify my experience in Brooklyn and in Boston and North Carolina, like, to who I am now, that gives me that that goal-driven personality of not quitting, like going through circumstances and families, losses, deaths, all the stuff that has built the character to the person that you see in front of you. Like, how do I qualify that outside of my voice telling you I've done it? Like, it's a frustrating thing to think about at times.
Yeah.
Even with like my degrees and whatnot, like I still can be overpassed like by someone else who has a master's in the same field. Like, but
Yeah.
I have over 15 years of experience before I even got the first 2 degrees.
Yeah.
Or somebody with a better relationship.
Yeah. Oh, right, right. I mean, today it's all about connections and who you know versus what you actually do know. And I think that's why we're seeing such an uptick in people trying to go their own way, opening their own businesses, starting YouTube channels, speaking these things out loud, and getting followings where they're helping other people. And I hope that's what we're going towards, because we're taking an approach that's everyone can hear. We can scream at the rooftops, and everyone's going to be able to hear us because they have connections and to social media in one way or another. But to come back to you, Dante, you didn't answer my question. You kind of did.
What's your question?
What put you on that path to saying, all right, was that comment, is that what kind of, was that the tip of the iceberg for you to take time off? What were some of the things leading up to that?
To be honest with you, people really can't get to me because, as you can see, in my serenity is my home. And so when I'm in the house, it's not like I'm attacking myself or I'm sitting in the mirror. So if I never leave the house, I'm all right. So it's me and what I could be and what I can handle. I told you, as a man of God and a child of God as well, because you're both, I'm a person where it's like, okay, I'm trying to live out my faith. And if people don't understand me trying to live out my faith, and then they're attacking me, but then I got to also put in perspective that, like, I always like to use this example. Jesus, right, we're about to come around Easter. Check this out. Jesus was celebrated on a Sunday, crucified on Friday. What did he do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for them to put him on a cross? So it lets you know, like, when some people don't understand you, they want to put their perception. That's why I keep saying the problem with this society is the miscommunication of perception, because people try to put their perception on you just because they live something. When it's like, yo, that's why I don't do that with people. I don't know what you went through. I don't know what you experienced. So what I do is I ask questions and I try to get the understanding of how you looking at something and seeing it from your point of view. That's why when you read my books, that's why people say, yo, you did that. It's like, you didn't tell me how to think. You didn't force me to think. I've been in the human service field since 1999. I was in the field. I seen every aspect of it. I am a minister of the gospel. So when I sit up there and say I'm a therapist and everything, I'm a spiritualist. So I'm coming at it with the mental, the physical, and the spiritual. And I'm going to come with it spiritually first. So when I'm sitting here talking to people and telling people why you're going through what you're going through, I'm showing you in a physical or mental way, in a spiritual aspect, because you don't understand spirituals. So I have to say energy or influence. So to answer your question, I'm my own enemy, because it depends on how much I can handle and being where I put myself into, because no man can stop me from what it is that I'm doing, because I'm in a great position in life as well, even though everything I went. But it's just at times, as a human being, you're going to feel a certain way when people are taking shots at you. And sometimes, even though you may have the protection on, they might have caught an angle where that protection wasn't hurt, didn't really keep it from hitting you. So you still feel the pain of it, like, ouch. And it's like, yo, after a while, you start feeling that ouch, and you're just like, you know what? Let me put y'all in place real quick and let you know what's really the truth. Because the fact of the matter is, if you're going to have a conversation, let's have the conversation. If you're not, then shut up and sit back and relax and enjoy the show. Because other than that, I don't run from nothing. I'll come to your house and have a conversation if you want to have that conversation. Believe me, I sat down with racists, everything in life, with guns in their hands. And you know what they say after the fact? He's not black. You know why they said that? Because they was just like, yo, the way he thinks, he don't think like an average black guy. That's why I'm trying to tell people it's not about race and color or religion.
Wait.
It's about individuality.
Go ahead, Yakim.
Go.
How that how do we think black? Like that's the thing. Like thought thought itself is unmeasurable, right?
It's a stereotype, and it's sad
Yeah.
that it even got to that point to become a stereotype.
Thought cannot be placed under a color or a banner or a theme. Like that's impossible. That's like saying I can see air. You can't.
King, that's why I'm trying to tell you, King. Like when you deal with mental health, I told you I hang around a lot of WPs. People are starting to understand why it's WPs. Shout out Sandy for that word. But like I said, I hang with different cultures, different religions, backgrounds, everything. So the way white people see mental health, like I said, they see the way we dress, spending all this money on clothes is mental health. They think that if you're around rich white people. So I'm just trying to get you to understand. That's why I keep trying to say, when you have a conversation like that, you can't some people think me being single and not married, I have mental health issues because I ain't got kids running all over the place. I'm like, what? And that's my own community thinking like that. Because you don't got kids out of wedlock, there's something wrong with you.
Right.
What?
Where does that come from? Who told you that? Like, who told you that that's how it should be? And it gets passed over and over and over again. And you tell yourself this story, it becomes true when it's not.
Yeah.
And we keep hearing that. Nothing is there to break down that wall. And it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
You know where it comes from? Go ahead. Kim, if you want to say
stereotype. Like Nikki was saying, it's a perpetuated stereotype that keeps getting passed down like tradition and we have to be part of the change in that. If there are like-minded people like ourselves who can recognize and see this and like have the opportunity to pass on, a better perspective or a different direction or alternate course of thinking, we have to do our best to make sure that we give that message. Like, again, it all comes back to having that open conversation, like not bringing so much your feelings to the table, but more your openness to hear different avenues or aspects of thought from other people on the subject, which is not always easy because everybody can't sit down at the table without bringing their emotions, because just the title of whatever the conversation is may stir up something. We don't know, again, like what we've been saying over, we don't know what someone's been through and what causes them to feel this way. So automatically addressing it, not everybody's ready to address it. Not everybody's ready to sit down and have an open, an open view of the conversation.
Right. I think people are angry. They're coming from a very hurt, battered place. And that turned into bitterness and anger, and it just keeps going.
But hold up. Hold up with that. Because, okay, the question was, where does it come from? All right. You got to always remember, the reason why I say A, B, C, and 1, 2, 3 is because you got to make it basic. The A point should be family structure. That's mother and father, like the parents. So here's the thing. I'm gonna give you a little insight into my home where I grew up. I got 3 sisters and 2 brothers. So me growing up, I had a different father, and you could tell whoever my mother had me with, they didn't see eye to eye. I don't even know the man. Never met him. I look more like my mother, but I never met the man. So anyway, my little sisters said one time to a girl that I was trying to date, my brother's a dog. Now, what was interesting is, you're my blood. You don't know this woman, and you're putting me down. Now, here's the crazy part. Let's pause right there. These 2 little girls, because they're younger than me, had babies with multiple dudes, where I still don't have a baby with nobody. They called me a dog, but they exhibit the dog's behaviors. See what I mean? So then when I said to them, did y'all believe I was going to be in the position I'm in right now? Their answer was no. Then where did you believe I was going to be? And since I'm not there, could you acknowledge that I did good for my life? Could you congratulate me? See, that's the thing. People have these expectations, but when you don't live up to the expectation they have for you, they can't acknowledge that you did better, because guess what? Now you got to look at them and they got to say, I did wrong, because the person that I thought was going to do wrong didn't. That's why I say I'm the ugly duckling that became the beautiful swan.
Because a lot of
people,
Did
Go
they
ahead.
ever answer the question or where
Huh?
they got that thought from?
Come on, you know they didn't answer the question.
No.
No, they didn't answer the question because you know why, King. You gotta always remember. See, Abdul, when I tell you when I counsel people, I'm good at what I do. I'm one of the best. The thing is, when I ask you a question, you're about to get exposed when you answer the question. That's why I asked the question. I want you to answer it yourself so you can know what you're doing, because you know what you're doing. So the thing is, King, to acknowledge me doing good in life, you have to admit you did wrong in life. And I keep telling people it's not a right or wrong answer. It's the answer you are willing to live with. Because if you make a decision, like I said, right now, I could make a decision today to go out and get 20 girls pregnant. I did it now. I didn't do it before. That's a decision now I have to live with. So the child support or whatever comes with that, I have to live with that now for that decision. Not for back in the day, but what I did today. And when it plays itself out, and that's the problem with people. We don't think about the decisions before they play out. So now when the decision is played out, now we sitting up there trying to play revisionist history. I was telling a girl the other day when she was trying to play revisionist history, she's like, what do you think we would have been if we would have hooked up when we was younger? Because we did. And I was like, to be honest with you, the man I am today, you would have changed that man because the things that I did after you, I went and did because me and you in the path that we was in wasn't putting me in that path when I went to Jersey and Philly to learn what I needed to learn. So the revisionist history thing you can't do because you got to undo everything that came with what came after that moment.
Okay, hold on.
All
Pause.
right, Yakim, go ahead. Go ahead.
Hold on. And this is the point of what we were talking about, the whole door being open for mental health. See how this is, we have strayed in a good way on a great topic, but we need to get back to why we are here to talk about this past weekend's episode.
Right.
Okay. What was your take on it, Nikki? Other than being engaged, we got a string of questions. Actually, can I pause that one? Dante, what was your take on the episode?
My take was, I think women should really listen to that episode and really learn and see if there's a parallel in their life with her life. Whether you're an immigrant, whether you're a mother, because she's about to touch on racism with her kid because of like what she had the experience, and that's what she's gonna be talking about in part 2. So what I was liking is the fact of she was sitting there, she told you what made her beginnings. Like her grandmother was a teacher, that she was older than her cousins, so she was like basically the leader, telling them what to do and what not to do and everything. And sometimes that puts you in a position where you feel like, I want to lead others, because basically that's what a teacher is doing. If you really think about it, a teacher is teaching this generation to be the next generation. So that's what I'm getting from it, and I like the whole perspective of how everything was just a conversation, a dialogue that everyone could relate to.
Oh yeah. No, this also also like Nikki and like so many others. I can see with as the conversations and these moments happen, them being longer episodes because like sometimes I get locked into the conversation and forget what I'm there for and just enjoy sitting there watching, like not so much fighting myself so much to jump in, but just watching everything unfold and just hearing these conversations and knowing that I'm witnessing and documenting something that can lead to so much greater good for people out there who don't feel they have a voice or feel that they can't be heard. Like, yes,
Yeah.
I'm very appreciative and glad of what we're doing.
Your turn, Nikki.
Yeah, well, just speaking on her as a person, from what I see, she has two sides to her. And what we saw in this first one was a very gentle side, but she's got a fire in her. And I really appreciated what she said about dealing with what's going on here and where we're at, and how, and I'm not big into politics, but I just really appreciate the fact that she acknowledged where we're at now in the US and what our situation is. And it's not that we can't help other people. That's who we are. That's who the US is. But the fact that we're seeing more and more homeless people on the daily and right in front of us. And I was born here, but I didn't grow up here. And for her to say that she's seeing more homeless people here, it's very saddening. And the fact that we're just throwing it out, and bypassing what's going on right in front of us. She's very aware of what is going on. And so when she has her side of her that is devoted to her life, being born in Kuwait and being Palestinian, and she's got such a deep root there and love for her people and acknowledging what's going on and wanting the suffering to stop there. She sees it here because these are her people here too. This is where she grew up. This is where she's established herself and her surroundings. And I thought that was really important to hear, and I really connected with that because I agree on both ends. And it's hard. I'm like, obviously I'm not a leader. I'm not into politics. I don't understand what being in that position means. So I can't, again, I'm not walking in someone else's shoes, but that part of the video really resonated with me. So I'm excited to see what's going to unfold in the next episode. And it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how the relationship develops between me and her, if anything comes of that, if we can get her on again and have a girl talk.
Listen,
I'm excited for that.
that's man, that ain't but a word.
Yeah.
Trust me, she loved it. I would love to see the conversation you two would have. Oh, I would love to see the conversation you two are going to have and where that goes. Because, like you said, there is two aspects to it. It's like I found old videos. Like she asked me and my wife to be part of like her wedding.
Mm-hmm.
She was the bridesmaid and I was a groomsman in her wedding, and they were at our wedding. And in this video that just got sent to me of the table that they were at and for the first dance, and I'm like, we've been in, like, I just found some old photos that I sent to her from a day that her and my wife just went out. They just went to Oakland Beach, just spent the day taking pictures and hanging out. I'm like, I don't really remember where those pictures came from, but there's a lot of history and ups and downs, and I'm pretty sure that that conversation can turn into a whole lot of other conversations, because there are so many other things that has happened and things that are going on and things that she's involved in.
Yeah, she is a very spiritual nature. I mean, looking at the title of her book, how she dresses, some of the pictures that she's taken, being a mermaid, like she's got so many different facets to her that I want to pull all those out. So I think it's great that we will have her on next week, because I'll get to see a little bit more of the full picture, and then I'll know how to, the questions that I want to address. Because I have a few here that are just from the first one. So who knows what's going to come out when we listen to the next one. But yeah, I think when it comes to doing some of these interviews and having these conversations, that we do let it run its course. The way Dante presents interviews or conversations, it lends itself to that, because we're not coming in saying this is this person and we're only going to talk about XYZ. We can run the gamut of every single branch. Hi, Danny.
But that's why I believe he starts the way he does with the episodes. It's like, you know who I am, you know what the show is. Our guest here is going to introduce themselves, and the first question is usually, well, tell us what you think. Tell us about what you want people to know about you. Did I get it right?
Yes, you did. That's why I ain't saying nothing. It's not about,
and that
everybody always say, why don't you get more personal? And I'm like, I can't do that because I want the people, I want you to identify with that camera, not identify with us. That's it. Go ahead, King.
not even the camera. I always tell you every time.
No, what I mean by the camera is when they look into that, you know how a lot of tell us they're nervous? I try to take that nervousness away from
Exactly.
them. So I don't want them to think
camera.
about
Exactly.
Right?
Forget the cameras there. This is not about the cameras. I could set those things up and never tell you they're recorded, which is usually what I do. And just have the conversation. That's what it is.
And King, you get to see the things that people don't get to see. You notice I always bust a joke in the beginning or something. You put it in there, but they don't know when that happened. Because I want people to forget we're recording. I want them to understand we're having a conversation.
That helped me a lot, that's for sure. I mean, even getting on for today. So you guys, we were actually supposed to have Nada on today, and it didn't work out. So we're gonna have her on next week. But like, I was nervous as fuck. Oh, excuse me. For the last 2 days, I've been like, okay, how do you? Sorry, not for children. Like I have like all my notes, like questions, notes, like looking at her Instagram, like who's like just doing the research, because my goal was to hit on things that aren't in the video, and to explore different parts of her and who she is. And I still get nervous. Every one of these I get nervous. I have to like deep breathe and prepare for my intro and all that jazz. So I don't know if that will ever change, but it sets me up to be more prepared, I guess.
Exactly. You don't want that to change. Like I said before, like I was doing a show once and I was so confident that I had everything and was not nervous. The first time I was never nervous for the show was the worst show I ever did. I was overconfident and I thought I had it in the bag. I dropped every line. I missed intros. I was all over the place. It was a train wreck. So that nervousness is letting you, it's making you alert and aware, which means you're going to do a great job.
Yep. Yeah. I'm like that when I play volleyball. I'm like that when anything that has a little bit of pressure, I usually rise up for the occasion, but at the same time, it's like I really have to talk myself down and breathe and not get focused because I'm focused, but just to calm my ass down.
Sometimes that's where most of the work happens, the actual task. Like all the work that you're doing before you do the task is trying to calm yourself down and like not go crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Okay, so you guys, we could really fly here, meaning just keep talking and talking and talking. And we've hit on so many different points, from race to politics to gender to, all kinds of stuff, mental health, specifically mental health. But again, we want to make sure that we keep this Wednesday Whispers to specifically the videos that are on the bookends of our episode. But I do love this because it's still part of our team building. It's still sparking things. And I'm writing stuff down, and I think that's going to just give us so many ideas going forward and what we can bring to the table for people. And again, we want to hear from others too. And like Dante, you have so many people that come to you, privately messaging you, which I think is awesome. And I hope people aren't afraid to reach out to us that way and use direct message, whatever need be. But we want to hear your voices too.
I don't think they're afraid. I don't think they're afraid. I think what it is, because remember, I'm analyzing everything. I talk to Kim and talk. You know what I'm looking at? Number one, people get busy. And we got to remember, our audience is not kids. Our audience are people with kids. So them tuning in, because I know one person said she's married. She said if she could watch, she watched, but she just sit there and listen. So it's different. If you notice, because it's getting warmer outside. We don't know if people own homes or not, because I know a lot of people, I got friends that own homes and they trying to get me to come over their house either to burn wood or help them out with some leaves or something. And I'm just like, nah, working. But no, I help them out. But that's what I'm saying. It's like we're dealing with people that have kids and people that's busy and things come up. You just never know. So that's why I'm understanding. And so whenever they could tune in, they tune in. Whatever they could say, they say. And I'm happy for that. Because again, the fact of the matter that they are supporting, and this is all I care about. We haven't had nothing negative. Nobody said anything negative yet. That's all I care about. Nobody can say nothing bad about the show. Right. Nobody can say, yo, they're not doing a good job. That's all I care about. So if they watch, they watch, which I know they're gonna watch. That's all I'm concerned with. Is the content good? Are we delivering the message? That's what it's all about. When we bring somebody on, like I told you earlier, your friend Amanda, when I read her post, I was like, she's a great person to speak on, not only going through it, but coming out of it.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I was able to do. Would you mind telling me a story?
You know, real quick, I wonder, because again, that would be a longer conversation. We could almost set that up on an actual interview. Hi, Reiki. We can do something like a Zoom call interview for people that aren't local and produce stuff that way as well. So, you know, even though we can't be in person with her, we can still get the full spectrum of an interview and, you know, do the same thing of what Yakim's already doing and have that content available for him to edit and make into new episodes. So yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna do that. All right. We got I told you we got to set up for Zoom already. We have that's me and Key. We gonna like, when we get some time. Huh?
Does Yakim know about that?
Yeah, no, he know. I already took him. I already took him to the spot where we could do the Zoom stuff. It's just that like we got somebody we recording somebody's Friday. Like I said, it's like we can be busier than what we are. It's just that we trying to get everything right. Like with my phone, everything. We try to get everything right so it could be done correctly. Because again, we don't want people to be looking at something and it's messing up because it's going to take away from the actual experience that you have. Because remember, we're not watching this video or watching these videos with people. They're watching it themselves. So their experience and what they're going through is different than how we are delivering it. Like somebody might sit up there and say, matter of fact, I can't wait to hear what she has to say about the video. Like, how did she feel?
Right.
Because remember, we're sitting there talking. There's no music. It's different than when you actually replaying it with the music and the editing.
Right.
So you're seeing something completely different than what you actually done. And I was there because I be forgetting. I'm like, yo, I be tuning in like, yo, what did we talk about?
Yeah, I love the playback when it's all put together and you're like, oh, that came out really, really smooth. Or, you know, you pick up on low points that you missed, you know, during the conversation that just kind of get moved along. But yeah, again, that's what this is for, is to bring those little things to light and to bring in the comments and people who are, you know, talking to us personally about it. And hi, Babu. But yeah, it was a great episode. I'm very excited for Sunday and to record again next Wednesday to get her on and really connect and know who she is. But yeah, I think that's it for today. We covered the gamut of many things. And we'll be back on next week. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. Thank you so much for your support, your love, all the things. We are going to bring so much more awesomeness to you, and just be ready. We want to hear you and want to hear these conversations and what you have to say. All right, you two. I have a busy morning. I am off, and you two have a good day.
All right, take it easy.
Right. We'll be in touch. All right, guys. Happy Wednesday.
Love you, Nikki. Yo, tell Ori I'll be seeing him. My phone coming in tomorrow.
Right. Text us. We'll get you in, and we'll get that thing all running the right way.
Yes.
All right, guys.
I'm definitely gonna be naked next week.
And naked, right?
Yup, I'm be naked. You see, I'm semi-naked
I
right now. I'm
know.
gonna be naked.
You're
Watch.
preparing.
Yeah, you gonna be, whoa, this guy.
All right, I'm leaving because we're gonna end up on here another half hour. All right, I'll talk to you later. All right, bye.
Uh,